Hey, good evening, everyone. So, where we stopped in the last session? Last session, we discussed about
Arguments, how to create a class, how to create object,
how to create an object. Perfect.
object.
Let me open our workspace folder. So, our workspace folder is this one. I want to open the local Jupyter notebook. So, let me open that one. Okay. So, yesterday we defined what is class, right? What is class? If anybody asks, okay, what
Class
is
is a
class?
collection of variables and methods.
My class is a collection of variables and
Method.
methods or not. Class is a collection of variables and methods. So here, if you observe yesterday's session, oops. Yeah. If you observe here, I created one class by using which keyword? Class keyword, right? After that, I added FW, BW, and I defined two functions. Now tell me, when you can go with the class? When exactly in this particular scenario class is required, in this particular scenario class is not, okay, not required. That kind of scenario, can anyone tell me? Any one of you? In this case class is required, in this case class is not required, like that. Hmm? For example, say I want only find the sum of two numbers. I want to only sum of two numbers. Only this is only my requirement. In that case, can I write find sum n1 comma n2? Can I write print n1 plus n2? Yes or no? My requirement is what? Just I want to find the sum of two numbers. That's it. If it is only the requirement, I created one function which take two arguments. Okay, here n1 plus n2. This is my actual business logic. Now the requirement what, I want find some sub multiplication module, okay, of two numbers. Then the type, tell me. Then the type. How many functions are required in general? How many functions are required? How many functions are required? Find the sum of one function. Okay. Find sub one function. Find multiplication and find mod division, you can say. Now tell me. Okay, division and model different. That's okay. Here, sum more subtraction, multiplication, and division and mod. These all are related to what? Arithmetic operations or not. These all are performing arithmetic operations on two numbers or not. If you are, if you observe here, there has multiple methods, multiple functions are there, work for the same cause. What is that? Perform arithmetic operations or not. If multiple variables or multiple functions work for the same cause, don't write those functions or variables individual. Can you wrap all these in a single entity? That single entity we can say like what? We can say like what? That single entity we can say like what? A class or not? Understood, right? When you can go with the class, there has multiple variables are there, multiple functions are there, those are work for the same cause. Sum or subtraction, sum work for what? Arithmetic operation. Subtraction, arithmetic operation. Multiplication, arithmetic operation. Division or more, arithmetic operation only. These all are work for the same cause. Perform arithmetic operations on two numbers. If multiple functions or variables work for the same cause. Don't write individual. Can you keep or can you wrap with a single entity, that entity called as what? A class or not? Yes or no? That entity we can say like what? A class. Okay, so my class contains what at this moment? At this moment, my class contains what? Come on. My class contains what? Functions. Find sum, find sub, find multiplication, find division or mod, whatever it is. Now come here. You have a class in your hand. This is what? You have a function. If you want to call find sum, how we can call it? If you want to call find sum, how we can call it? Come on. Find sum. Directly you can call like this or not. If you want to call this particular find sum, how we can call it? Tell me. Is it possible to call a function which is inside the class? Is it possible or not possible? Directly can I call it? Can I access the class members directly?
No.
Can I access class members, either variables or methods directly? Possible or not possible? Can I access the class members directly?
Creating an object.
No.
All right. No, we can't. Okay, we can't. Okay, then in that case, how we can access the members of a class? Yesterday we discussed it, right? How we can access the members of a class? Hmm? How we can access the members of a class?
After creating an object to that class.
By creating an object or not. So, how we can create an object for that particular class? You can call your class. That's it. Syntactically, it gives me what? It gives me what? Object or not. Once you have an object in your hand, you can access the class members. How we can access the class members? Obj dot find sum like this. Now, what is the difference between this find sum and this find sum? This find sum, you directly access it or not. If you access directly, then that time you can call that particular member as a function. If you access with the object reference, then that time you can call that particular member as a method. As a method. Now tell me the difference between function and method. Functions we can invoke directly like this or not. With the names directly we can invoke it. Invoke is nothing but we can call it. Find sum you are able to call directly or not. But the find sum here, I'm talking about this one, which is inside the class, then how we can access it? Using an object or not. If you call a member using an object, if you call a member using an object reference, that member I can say like what? Terminology wise, that member I can say like what? Method or not. Understood? If you write outside, if you call or invoke like this, that find sum is what? Function. If you write inside the class, if you access by using an object reference, if you access by using an object reference, then you can say what?
Method.
It's a method or not. It's a method. That's all. Understood everyone? When you can go with the class, when you can go with the normal function. Okay, when you can go with the class, there has multiple members, variables or methods, work for one cause, work for the same cause, then the time you can go with the class or not. Yesterday also, front wheels so back wheels, the next one is like total wheels so get color. These all are work for what? These
Car.
all are work for same cause. Tell something about the car or not. If there has multiple members work for the same cause, just keep all the members or wrap all the members in a single entity. That entity name, I can say like what? That entity name, I can say like a class. That entity name, I can say like a class. Understood? In another way also, you can define a class. Class is nothing but just I have a thought. I have a thought that is not available physically. Okay, in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, my bus, front wheels 2, back wheels 4, my bus color is something like that. Just I'm thinking. Okay, that means whatever I have a thought, just I put on paper. When it is like, okay, physically available, okay, if I ask you the question, hey, how many back wheels are there? Then that time we should not show like a paper, right? You should show like what? That bus or not. So when I can get the services from the bus or when I can get the services from the class, if that particular object is physically available, object is nothing but if physically available, then only we can use it or not. Yes or no? So if you have a class, there is no use. Just simply, if you have a class means you have one thought, that's it. Okay, you have some thought, you put on some paper, that's it. When it is like implemented, when it is ready to use, when it is ready to use, whenever that particular object is available or not. If a bus or if a car is available, I can do something. I can find the front wheels, I can find the back wheels, I can see the color and everything or not. If it is not available, how we can get the service, how we can come to know how many front wheels, how many back wheels, yes or no? So simply you can understand like, see, this particular concept not only for Python, this is for any programming language. Okay, class definition is nothing but class is a collection of variables and the methods. That's it. Okay, if you want to explain something more, class is nothing but what? Just okay, I have some idea, just I put on paper. That's it. Okay, when that particular class is ready to provide the service means that is physically available. That means that object is available. Then only that particular one is ready to provide the service or not. So you have a class, there is no use. If you want the service from the class, you should have to create an object or not. Understood everyone? All are okay? Come on.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Okay then. Now, can you come here? Yesterday's discussion. Okay. Now you can leave like that. Write a class which represent about one student. Write a class which represents something about the student. Tell me how we can write the class.
Class student.
Class keyword, we can create a class in Python, student. Tell something about the student.
His name.
Okay, his name. Okay, this is a roll
His
number.
roll number.
Roll number. Okay.
His mark list.
One is like, okay, his marks and everything. For now, can I write like this? Is it valid or not? Is it valid or not? You said like class is a collection of variables and methods. That means variables are mandatory or methods are mandatory. Come on. Variables are mandatory or methods are mandatory? No, right? Okay. For example, okay, I have a bus class def, okay, get color, just return red. Okay. Is it like valid syntax or invalid syntax? In this particular class, what's not there? In this particular class, what is not there? In this particular class, methods are not there. In this particular class, variables are not there. So this is also valid and this one also valid, both are like valid or not. So class is a collection of variables and methods, but variables and methods are like not mandatory. Okay, you can write based on your requirements some variables, some methods you can write it, but okay, it's not mandatory like both should contains variables as well as methods. Understood? So come here, I created a class. Now, you have a class, that's it. When I can get the services from the class? Come on. Oh, one student is there. I thought like his name is like something. His roll number is 1. When I can confirm? Okay, I'm thinking like one student is coming. Just I'm thinking like that student name is like something S1 and roll number is like 10. Okay, when I can confirm that particular student is available to me, then I can ask and confirm or not. Hey, what's your name? What's your roll number? Yes or no? That means that student physically should available, right? That means that student object is available. Then only I can come to know or not. So I have a class, no use. When I can get the services from the class? By creating an object or not. Now tell me, in Python, how we can create an object? In Python, how we can create an object? Just call it. Okay, now whenever you call the class, it gives me what? An object reference or not. This is the address. Okay, now tell me somebody giving some value. Somebody giving some value to you. How we can hold that value? If somebody, this guy, this call is giving me some value. Okay, how we can hold that value? Using variables or
Variable.
by using variables, right? We can hold the data. So can I write like this variable name can be anything? Can I put like student object? Yes or no? Now, what is the type of student? What is the type of student? Hmm? What is the type of, okay, if you want to print it, what is the type of student?
Class.
It's a class type. Okay, class predefined type is like type only. What is the type of what is the type of stdobj? What is the type? What is the type of stdobj? Tell me. What is the type? Here it is like a type wherever you see. That time onwards we can say like that is a class type. That is a class type. Now, if you observe here, class main student, okay, this particular std object, you can say like, what is this underscore underscore main? We'll see later. For now, this student object, std object is there, right? Okay, this is an object of which class? Student class or not? Like that, you can understand. Okay, now onwards, wherever you see class type, then you can understand like what? You are finding some class type. Okay, so here you are finding which class type? Which class type you are trying to check?
Student.
Class or not? Here you are trying to find the type of student object. Okay, see, if it is like student object, how it looks like? It is like a class student. Class student. Whenever you written like this is an object of which class? Student. Okay, student class or not? If you see like this, the class like this, class name here, then you can say like what? Come on, then you can say like what? Then you can say like what? Here, if you see the class, then you can say like what? It is a object of that particular class. If you see like type, then you can say like what?
Class type.
It is a class type or not. Okay? What is int? What is int? Tell me, what is int?
Data type.
Int is what?
Data type.
Huh? Int type is what?
Class type.
Class type, right? I already told, right? Whenever you see class or type, that means you are finding the type of one class. Which class type you are finding? Integer. Here you are finding which class type?
Student class.
Student class type. Perfect. Okay. If I write like this, just you only tell. What is that?
Type.
Class. So type, if you see, that is you are finding a type of the class. If you see the class itself here, if you see the class itself here, what it means?
Object.
It is an object. Perfect. It is an object, right? It is an object of which class? It is an object of which class?
Student.
Student. Std obj is an object of which class? Student object. Okay, student class. Here names is an object of which class? Come on, which class?
List.
Class.
Right, list class. List is one class. We not discussed. Okay, focus on this one. Focus on this one. Okay, na? Okay then. Now I'm going to write something like this. Okay. Tell me. Players is which type? Players is what? What is players? Players.
Object.
Object of which class?
Tuple.
Tuple class or not? Tuple class or not? So can I write print type of what do you think? What do you think?
Class.
Type, if you see, that means you are finding the type of one class. What is that class?
Tuple.
Tuple. Tuple is your class or not? Understood? Got my point? Here, tuple, list, integer. Who created these classes? Am I created?
Python people.
Python people. So can I say those classes as a predefined classes? Here, student who created?
We.
We created. So can I say this is like what? User defined class? Yes or no? Tell me. Easy.
Yes.
Now you got some idea, right? Okay, which one is like a class, which one is like an object? If you want to find it, just find the type. Class type is there. That is nothing but it's a class. You are finding type of the class. If you see the class name, then the time you can say like what? Class name. Then the time you can say like what? You are finding the type of this class object or not. Which class object? List class object. My name is what? List class object or not? Yes or no? Agreed with me, all of? Come on. Okay, na? Okay then. Now, see, take your own time. Why? Because these concepts we are going to use everywhere. Internally, these concepts only they are going to use. Understood? Now, answer this question. You have a class. If I access name, print to name, what's my answer? Print to name.
Name is not defined.
Name is not defined. Why? Because the member name inside the class. Inside the class members, can I access directly? No. So, how we can access the members of a class?
With object.
Creating object.
Is available, then only. Can we create an object? So, how we can create an object? Call the, come on, call the, what? Call the class. All the class name. Now, can I run it? Okay. Once you have an object, okay. Once you have an object, Once you have an object, now you can say class class name. Class if you have, that is nothing but what? It is an object of which class? Student class or not. My obj is an object of student class. If you have an object, how we can access the members of a class? If you have an object, how we
obj
can access
dot
the members? By using a dot notation, obj dot name. What it gives? Yes, one. Obj dot roll number. What it gives? Okay, 10. Obj dot, okay, address. What? Obj dot address. Is this property inside the obj, inside the student? No. So what is the error? Can you read it? Student class object is nothing but what? Student class object is what? Tell me. Student class object is what? OBJ. So
obj.
student object is nothing but OBJ, has no attribute address. That means in the OBJ, I don't have an attribute address or not. Yes or no? Agreed? Tell me. So now my next question, what do you know? I have a student class. How many members are there in the class? Members is nothing but variables and methods. I'm going to call like that. Variables and methods, we can say like a members. How many members are there in this class?
Two.
2 members. Okay, it is like always 2 only, in future 20, 100 also. Possibility, tell me. Any number of variables and methods you can write it. Now my question is, one class written by some other person. I created this class. You are able to see this class members. So that you said like how many members are there by seeing this one? How many members are there? You said 2 members. But just now only you said tuple created by whom? You are
Python.
Python.
people. List created by Python people. Integer created by Python people. If they created, how many members they add inside the class? How many members they written inside the class? How we can come to know? So finally, my question is how we can find or how we can check, how we can come to know the members of a class? How we can come to know the members of a class? Come on. How we can come to know the members of a class? Anyone? We have one method is there, one function is there. Okay, that function take your class name as a parameter. Now if you come here, there has underscore some methods are there. These methods we can say like a magic methods or special methods. Okay, no need. Okay, these are not that much importance. Okay, these are not frequently used, but last 2, these are not magic methods. Last 2 are what? Last 2 are what? Tell me. Lost your members, right? Your variables or not? Yes or no? So by seeing this one, how many variables are there? How many members are there in this particular class? How many members are there in this particular class? Tell me. 2 members are there. So list you created a Python people created a
Python people.
Python people. If you want to check how many members are there in the class, which predefined function is there? dir. Okay, now can you come here? Which class members you want to see? List. If you observe in the list class, these many magic methods are there. Those are leave it. But the actual methods, how many are there in the list class? Each and every method we are going to discuss in future at the time of list discussion. Very, very important. Okay, so conclude one point. By using dir, why we go for dir method? dir function? What's your answer? Why we go for dir function? What's your answer?
No members of the class.
Hmm? If we
Directory path.
why we go for dir, what's your answer?
To know the members in a class.
To know the members of a class. Yes or no? So far, can you tell me how many predefined functions you used? How many predefined functions you used? Functions you used. How you can use a function? Like this here, function name, right? How many predefined functions you used?
Define.
One is like you
Define.
said dir. Yes. Next, print. Yes or no? Next, type also. So far, these predefined functions you used or not. So far, these predefined functions you used. Understood? My class is a collection of variables and methods. You can write any number of variables, you can write any number of methods, no problem. Here the variables are not mandatory as well as the methods also not mandatory. Okay, you read in a class, that means you have a thought, but that is not physically available. That is not physically available. So you have a thought is nothing but it's a class. Whenever it's physically available, you can do something with that. So how my class make it available physically? By creating what? By creating an object or not. Once you have an object, how we can call the members?
DI.
Once you have a object, how we can call the members?
By using dot notation.
By
Dot
using
notation.
dot notation or not. By using dot notation, you can access it. How we can come to know how many members are there in the class?
DIF.
How we can come to know how many members are there in the class?
DIF.
By using dir function or not. By using dir function. Any questions up to here? So I'm going to write one more class. Yesterday we got some issue, right? Now I'm going to reproduce that one. You only tell what is the fix, okay? Okay, my class is ready. This is what? This line. What is this line? What is this line?
Object.
Object creation. Okay, object creation. Okay. What is the output?
Class.
Class
Type.
type. Perfect. Perfect. Now,
Object of the class.
now
Class one.
class name. Class name. Whenever you see class name, what it means? It's an object of which class? It is an object. Obj is an object of which class?
A class.
Obj is an object of A class. Yes, no? Okay, okay then. Now, if I write fn, if I call like this, it gives me an error. Yesterday we discussed. Fn call take 0 positional arguments. Fn, okay, Fn function take 0 positional parameters, but one were given, but one was given. Okay, tell me this particular issue when you can get it. When you can get it.
Python defaultly assign the value.
Your function take some parameters, you passed okay more than that or not? Yes or no? Your function take, okay, maybe parameters there are not there, it's okay. You passed, okay, one function while calling, you passed, okay, more than expected functions or not. Here expected 0 means you passed like 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay, here how many he passed more? How many he passed?
1.
1 he passed or not? Now tell me, this particular function expecting how many parameters? This particular function is expecting how many parameters? Come on. This function, by seeing this one, how many parameters are there?
0.
0. 0 parameters. Don't think more. 0. Okay. So this function take 0 parameters. Okay. Function take 0 positional arguments. Okay. 0 positional arguments, 0 arguments. But how many given? While
One.
calling?
1.
1. While calling, 1 they given or not? But if you observe here, while calling, is it really passing? Did you pass? While calling this particular function, did you pass any parameters? Did you
No.
pass? No, right? Okay, you not passed, but still here showing like what? 1 you passed, but I didn't pass. This error message also correct only. So what do you think? You not passed. Error message is relevant to what? Passed some extra parameter. Then who passed? Python people passed or not? Is it available physically? Are you able to see what he passed at this moment?
No.
What he passed physically available or not available? No, right? He passed something, but it is not visible for me. So if he passed, that's okay. If he really passed, can you hold it? How we can hold? Here, if he passed, 2 ways I can fix it. Yesterday we discussed. One is like you can remove here. That is one thing. Another one is like you can add here. That is one fix. Here, to remove, that is not visible, right? If it is available, if I am able to see, I can remove it. But I am not able to see this one, how we can remove it? So that is not possible. If you are not doing anything, if you're not removing, do one thing. Okay, he said like passing one value. Na? That value, can you hold it? Yes or no? That value, can you hold it? Now see, now will it gives me any, will it gives me any object creation, right? Will it gives me any error? Will it gives me any error? One.
No.
No. Okay? Okay then. Now my question is, what is this A? What is the type of this A? That is the question.
Any
What
type.
is the type of this A? Okay. See, don't think. You don't know, me also don't know. Just find the type. How we can find it? Print.
Type of A.
Print
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
A. Okay, here also A, here also A. Can I put like some different value like I, for example? Okay, don't put this kind of names. Okay, done. Now come here, come here. Can I call it? Yes. Now tell me, if I print I, it is printed like this. What it means?
Object. Object.
Current class object.
Object of which class?
Yes.
Class or not? That means whenever you call fn, he passed what? Whenever you call fn, he passed what? One argument.
Object.
Python people passed one argument. What is that argument? What is that argument? Your class object or not? What is my class object? OBJ. That means he passed what? Internally OBJ only or not? Yes or no? See, that's the reason I asked you to remember the error messages. If you know the error messages, then that time you can debug the issue. You can come to know what exactly the issue was or not. Yes, no. Come on. Agreed? Okay. Okay then. Here, can I give the proper name A, B, I, J, K? Okay, I don't want. I know that. At this moment, I know. What is I? I is an object of which class?
A class.
A class. Perfect. A class. That is inside where?
Class.
Class. Which class that is?
A class.
A class only. My A class object inside A class only. So that is my own object inside my same class. Yes or no? My own object. Now onwards, you can give any name, no problem. Terminology wise, okay, wherever you see, you can see one of the name called as self. Self is nothing but what? Name itself what? Self, mine, my object. My object is nothing but I am where? Inside the A. A is mine. My A object or not? Agreed? Come on.
Yes, sir.
So or no? You can put any name, no problem at all. But terminology wise, okay, can I use self? Terminology wise, can I use self? Now, if you observe here, same, there no change. Whenever you see the type class or class name, it is an object of which class? A class. Okay, A is nothing but what? Current class only. Current class means self. Okay, this in Java. Okay, in Python, self. Okay, now everyone, come on. Any questions, anyone? Okay.
Yes.
Now, slight change I am going to do. Okay, you only answer it. Okay. Hold up. Come on. If I call my fn, what happened? While calling fn, he passes some value. That value also I hold it. Okay. Here print name. I called name. So what it means? See the error message and fix it. What is this? Spell out, spell out.
Name is not defined in the function.
Name is not defined. Name is not defined is nothing but what? Okay, this particular name is not available. Still, you are trying to use it or not. So, your thought, okay, what do you think? My name is a variable. Yes or no? This variable only I want here or not? Yes, no. Come on. As per my requirement, my name is nothing but what? It's like Sachin. I want Sachin here or not? So, tell me, one class member, it's a variable or method, whatever it is. One class member, if you want to access, how we can access? If you want to access the class member, how we can access?
By
Using
object.
Using object. Perfect. Okay, here also I'm trying to access what? Name. Name. It's what? Class member only, right? My name is a class member. Yes, no? If you want to access the class member, you should have to use what? Object or not. Here, where is my object? Which class object you required?
A class.
A class.
Class A.
A class object is available here or not? Yes or no? Come on.
Yes.
Available here or not? Yes. So that once we have an object, how we can retrieve the data? Once we have an
Self
object,
dot name.
by using dot notation, self dot name. Now, can you come here? Okay, come here. If I run this, now you can see the output is like Sachin or not. So, can we conclude one point? Either outside the class, either inside the class, if you want to access the members of a class, the object is mandatory or not? Yes, no. Come on. Inside the class, if you want to access the members, outside the class, if you want to access the members wherever. See, access the members of a class wherever. You need what? You need what?
Object.
You need an object. If the object is not there, we are not able to access the members of a class. Understood, everyone? So for any questions? No? Okay then. We'll continue remaining things in tomorrow's session. Up to here, you can complete it. Just practice from your end. Okay, practice from your end and try again and again telling. Okay, try to read the error message, try to understand the message. Based on the error message, we can fix the errors. If you understand the error message 50%, okay, 50 to 60%, your issue got resolved. Yes, okay, if you understand that, if you are able to understand that message, yes, 60% my issue got resolved. Remaining 40% you have to fulfill. Understood? That the reason, okay, error messages, try to read it. Okay, make it habituate. Whenever you get the error message, read properly that error message. Okay, na? Any questions, anyone? Okay, then I'll upload the videos. Just you can watch this one. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Bye.